Well, now that we know we functionally will never run out of pristine water, I think I'm just going to start drinking it. But yeah, like, I'd love to be able to just, like, build a bunch of Roombas that hoover up, like, a circle around them and bring it back to, like, a chest. I would build those, like, everywhere. And, you know, just tell them to provide all and have those resources warp back to the base. Probably go make some more bots at some point. Nope. We're not putting it there, we're putting it in here. Yeah, it seems like they're pretty good at picking those up. I think that's enough for now. Let's go back to harvesting these guys' death shrine. I wonder if the numbers on the backs of these helmets means anything. Or no, it's the same number. Dang. I was actually kind of hoping they had randomly done numbers and had it been like references to people's usernames or something. I like when devs do that. Even if it like really means nothing, it's charming all the same. Okay. So despite the fact that this is the clear source of the infection, probably, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any corruption here for me to clear out. Okay, is there anything in this mix that I should bring with me because it's not going to get pulled? It's mostly the seeds. And those we can move. I think I'm just going to leave it here. I think that's good enough. Okay, so where's the goop? I was promised things to clean. Toothpaste vision is not pleasant. I didn't play this game until they released Toxicity. It's a real gem. Game that takes care of that subnautic itch. Oh yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Like, I liked the base game. I thought it was a lot of fun. Toxicity is the best iteration of this that they possibly could have made. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll go further with it. But I've been enjoying this DLC massively. There's a little planty thing in here. Oh, that's funny. I actually do have enough to make a teleporter now. I have enough to make the whole teleporter. Was not expecting that. I guess, you know what? I will build it. Humble and Toxicity were better than the base game. I have not looked into Humble. I'll have to give it a shot. Okay, I did a little bit of Humble, but I liked it. I remember the recycling machines being a slight chore. The source. There we go. Do you want to take any of these back with me? Think so. Okay. Just dump all these things off. Wow, my drones are effective. Okay, enough of that. Back to making some robots. Now, Humble has a lot of spots where you can see the landscape changing, and not just the ice melting. Ooh. I look forward to that. I think for Humble, what I will do is probably just set up like a basic resource, like terraforming and resource chain, and then immediately wander off to watch everything change. Because the last couple planets, I mean, this one, for example, you have to spend a lot of time, you know, cleaning and terraforming, so you can't just rely on that. What is the point of this? I was hoping for like a little lore note in the area, but it seems like a tiny little base down here. I don't know why the heck. Oh, I guess they do have like a tiny little pocket of sunshine. So I guess they would have enough for a single solar panel. Knew it. Knew it. Okay. Anything else? Nope, doesn't look like it. But this does not have the goop. Where's the goop? Yeah, it's a big cave. A lot of stuff. No goop. Maybe it is on the surface and I've just missed it. Really wish I could actually make my own backpack supply things. Because that would be really nice if I could mark like, hey, please take this out of my backpack. I don't want this anymore. I shouldn't be exploring with like a full backpack, should I? Ground lifting up and splitting its stuff. Yo. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the teleporter home. Drop things off and keep going. Let's see. Don't need another teleporter. I think we can just offload all this jazz. Yeah, surprised we haven't needed fusion energy cells for anything. I want a DLC where you start on a planet of lava and turn it into a normal world of oceans and stuff. Ooh. That would be interesting. One where you actually do have to worry about the, like, volcanic eruptions messing with your base. I feel like that would work really well if you also had to worry about, like, the atmosphere more. You know, being, like, actually harmful and or making visibility super bad. There's a game I played a while ago that is on my shit list because they were AI generating, like, promo images. And they blocked me when I called them out for it. But it was one of those where there was like an active volcano that would explode periodically, and so you'd have to like go underground, to like avoid the explosions. And I think that could actually work as a really interesting DLC, one where you really are forced to build underground to avoid like volcanic eruptions and other disasters, and like you're slowly clearing zones out. That'd be fun. Okay, neat cavern, no goop. He's done, except for like a little bit. Let's see, which of these can probably get moved? Because my drones will come and pick them up immediately. Because I might as well snag this stuff that isn't getting picked up here. I'll just eat the space food. I don't think we're storing T4 mutagen anywhere. So I should probably work on that at some point. Oh. The money! Didn't even realize I was sitting on money. Well, those are getting delivered, so I'll just leave that there. Alright. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that specifically screams resources at me. Let's see. Water, beans, car. Took my water. Somewhat my fault, but whatever. Okay. I guess we're not going to find the area to purify there exactly. At least not underground. So let's see if I can find it above ground. Maybe there are tiny little, like, patches of corruption up here. Because it very much seems like there's a cluster right here on the left. Oh, there actually might be. Oh. No. Oh, yep, I'm seeing goop. So these might actually be just super tiny clusters. Not much to speak of. No. Okay, toxic element. Oh, is like a different one of these tree things. Okay, another one of these. Boy, they're generous. Grab that. So this tree is done. And that one doesn't go underground, but it does seem like I'm trapped in here. Where's it? Wait. Where's the exit? Oh, okay, exit's here. Like a moth stuck in a window. Not a window, but, you know. A bug that flew through the door and is just bashing itself into the window desperately because it can't figure out to just move 2 feet to its left. Okay, there's a pile of stuff there. Yeah, it actually looks like this might be it. Oh. Telling me 10 out of 13. Is it this area below me? Might be. I guess I might as well start cleaning it anyway. Interesting, it's not even giving me information on this one. Okay. Here we go. I guess we're gonna do... that. You know, honestly, really silly idea. Now we don't need it. I can also put my car down. So I'm gonna need it for the oxygen anyway. Yeah, I was hoping to get just a little bit more iron. Well, I guess we do have this stuff. Oh, but that's aluminum and super alloy. I need like 2 pieces of iron. Okay, this has got some in it. And then let's go back and grab our oxygen. That should be enough. Build the locker. I was thinking it would be kind of funny if I actually had it so that I just requested a bunch of iron here. I could. You know what? Actually, let's snag this stuff. We're going to do a switcheroo. We'll pull from that. This little one won't supply anything. That's just going to be our storage. This will all get ripped out, kind of. Anything in here? No. My dumb brain was just sitting here and... oh. Random crashed car. Unfortunately, the plants have started overgrowing this area before I purified it, and so there's like plants covering some of the sections that I need to look around. It's fine. But I was just sitting here, you know, I mean, you've been watching what I've been up to, but my brain was just like, hey, I'm just gonna randomly remind you about H-Bomber guy saying greasels in a funny voice. And I don't know why it got me. It just happens. Okay, is there just one? Yeah. Okay, I think this area is cleared. Oh, you can even see the toxicity shrinking. I've never actually paid attention to that. That looks cool. Okay, dump that junk off. These are good. How's this doing? Yeah, how much do we have left? So supposedly there's something toxic up there just above. These some of the ideas from this in the next world. I hope so too. Ooh, a bunch of good stuff in here. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I think they've done a really fantastic job of making a really solid base product and then evolving it into something truly special. Okay, that's done. So all we have is this like other little pocket over here. And then we're good to go, actually. Neat. Let's go get my car, though. But yeah, the planet looks pretty. It's got way more interesting design, verticality, and I'm going to say there is forced exploration, owing to the fact that, you know, the game is actively requiring me to go to these locations to, like, clean it up, but it makes for a very satisfying experience. I'm just gonna put another one of these here. Probably grab the oxygen. Okay, what about the rest of these? We do actually have a piece of plastic. Yeah, because I don't need to hoard every single resource under the sun here. Okay, there. We got the silicon we need. There we go. Yeah, I just figure giving myself a little bit more space. Oh, actually, let's take the iron back. Take that back. Cycle that. Put another one of these down. There we go. Okay, so these will all get requested and delivered eventually. Mostly just depends on the resources. I should probably put a thing down to request toxic goo removal explosives. And now we'll get something for animal food as well. Leave it for later. Alright, nothing left in this one? Cool. It does amuse me that I'm barely driving my car anymore. I mostly just carry it around with me as a portable, infinite source of oxygen. I feel like at this point, we should probably be able to do the same thing with ourselves. Maybe that is, like, one of the better oxygen tanks is just, yeah, this is actually just an infinite oxygen reclamation device. It certainly makes sense. Oh, hey, we got bugs over there. I wonder how early you can sequence break fit. Hello. Okay, this is pretty big. Hydration is low. So the problem is, like, we are within easy spitting distance of our base. Yeah, I don't think I need to put a teleporter down. Is a little tempting, but I don't think we need it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of iron. It is nice to see that my oxygen requirements are dropping very quickly. Okay, the water moon was a cool idea. But poorly done. I wanted to be more land after terraforming. I feel like, I mean, you want to go with a really crazy one is water, like a water level, but the whole thing is frozen over massively. So whatever base you build, eventually is going to be like submerged, or not submerged, but it's going to be like in a really inconvenient location. I think that could be kind of cool. Okay, there's only 45 here. So I'm thinking of like Subnautica below zero a little bit, and how like cool it was kind of swimming around and interacting with kind of the frozen over areas. Because I remember some spots that were particularly, oh boy, they were particularly claustrophobic in a way that I enjoyed thoroughly. You know what I can do? I'm actually going to put a requester chest down here. Really wish I could limit it to like 2 slots. I want silicon and plastic polymer. We can always send the rest of it back into the system. All the pollution's under hidden sea caves and whatnot. You only do certain stuff above water like teleporters and such. Yeah, that could be interesting. I don't know, it feels like there's a lot of different ways that you could potentially handle this. I just like the idea of one where it's like the land itself becomes kind of shaky, at least for like where you're interacting with it. And so you have to concern yourself with like, oh, you know, is the ice shelf that I'm currently building on and around going to be here in a bit? Well, we didn't get exactly what we wanted, but that's fine. But like, well, do we even... No, we actually only need one of these. Because if there's only 45 and this thing can hold... What was that? 64? I think it's 64. Oh, that's okay. I don't know. It feels like Planet Crafter is well handled, though. Like, the developers clearly are making strides with every subsequent game. And that as long as they kind of keep chipping away at this formula and these ideas, I will never have a complaint. I will admit, there's some part of me that always fears with these games that, like, the developers are then going to turn around and be like, okay, our next game is going to be a Metroidvania. And, like, they sink years into making that, and then it sinks because there's so many Metroidvanias out there. I've been kind of feeling that about, oh, who are they? Give me a second. Sentinel Corp asked us this morning to begin testing to send a first potential candidate. After conducting a few interviews, we selected a candidate. I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks like a suicide mission. I'm confident in our calculations and technology, but there's so many parameters to take into account. Interesting. Terraformation Metroidvania. Look, if they wanted to make that, I'm all there. A regular, you know, cut and dry Metroidvania, please don't. We have so many of those. I was thinking about this in regards to Heart Machine, specifically. I love Hyperlight Drifter. I kind of liked Hyperlight Breaker. I actually liked Solar Ash a bunch. And I might be, like, one of the only people that liked Solar Ash, but hey. But it was one of those where, like, Hyperlight Drifter was a really special and interesting game. That admittedly, I think much of what it did well was on a visual level. The fact that the developers' like health problems were kind of a good marketing pitch helped a lot. And it came out back when there weren't that many indie games for people to latch onto. But Solar Ash was just kind of like a linear action adventure game with like a cool sliding mechanic. It was fun to play around with, but didn't work too great for a lot of the like platforming they were doing. And so it was like, I enjoyed that game. I thought it was neat. I don't think they did a great job with like the full implementation of the idea, but oh well. But then going on to making a extraction roguelike. Oops. Uh-oh. I really got to work on this oxygen thing. But yeah, making it into a full-on extraction roguelike. Oh, we should probably empty out my inventory while I'm over here. with like really frustrating gameplay, which I get that is some of the Heart Machine style, but I feel like it kind of held that game back. And then they also made a Metroidvania simultaneously called Possessors that, like, I think was good. I played the demo for it and I enjoyed it, but boy, it's really hard to make a Metroidvania on the same year that Hollow Knight comes out. And, like, I recognize that they did not have a choice on that one. You know, you gotta release your game when it's done. But I don't know, that market is tapped. I think there are good ways of doing a Metroidvania at the moment. But yeah, it would have to be something crazy like a terraforming Metroidvania where, you know, maybe there's combat, but it's not like the core focus of the game. Like, I think you very much would have to make that as a game that, like, if it has combat, it's a little bit, it's there, but it's not huge. Like, I think that would be fine. Oh, we're not supplying from this one, are we? Let's actually take the iron back. Oop. I think we want to make another one of these storage spots. Didn't exactly give myself a whole lot of space here, did I? Oh well. We're just going to do silly things with how this is laid out, I suppose. And maybe this is overkill. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was. I'm wanting another hot, like, Stardew Valley, but with other professions, which probably are. I want a Stardew Valley that's set in a, like, a fantasy world. Okay. This is gonna sound kind of weird for a bit, but bear with me. I want to play something that is like Teenage Exocolonist, but it's not a visual novel. It's a farm sim. I think that would be extremely cool. One where you are like a bunch of people that have landed on a planet and you have to make it livable. And so, like, you can play it solo and there's other NPCs that are kind of running around doing things. But, you know, a group of players, hey, this is going to be the person that's running into, like, the weird alien mines. Here's another one that's, like, studying xenobiology and, like, figuring out which ones are good farm animals. That'd be nice. Are we sure we can trust Sentinel Corp with this kind of research? I'm glad they're funding us, but I find it hard to believe their true motives. Who would want to go into a desert planet and try to terraform it, all alone no less? Oh, so this is talking about somebody going down to the main planet. Their brief seems more interested in the economic aspect than the well-being of these famous colonists. I'm not even sure we'll be able to develop the technology needed to terraform the entire planet. Anyway. Okay, anything else up here? No. Ooh, that's a cute boy. Look at him. That's probably the new creature that was added with this DLC. Sharky! Oh, they are just called Sharkies. So this is the original, like, concept art and whatnot. Maybe. I think some of this was added later, for sure. Okay, we're running out of oxygen. I should not be looking at posters. Something set in the world of Strahd. Horrible fog, fearsome creatures, a lot of occult things. Need to clear the fog and make the land workable. Yeah. That's something I always will say. I want more terraforming, farm sim, whatever kind of games where you do not have access to the world. You have to, like, uncurse Strahd. Yeah, you have to physically carve out a space that you can live in. Well, you know, all the while whatever this world is like actively trying to stop you at every turn. I think that would be so cool. I recognize that that's also a lot of work, and it's part of the reason why most developers will never do that, but it feels like there's a lot of potential there all the same. Planet Crafter Briefing. Your mission is to conduct advanced scientific research in order to develop a range of technologies that will enable the terraforming of entire planets by isolated individuals sent independently to these planets. These technologies must be unlocked in a specific order based on the progress made by the colonists in order to ensure their chances of success without unnecessary expense. Although this mission will be very complex to accomplish, you'll find everything you need on this planet, both in terms of equipment and human assistance. So it is actually talking about... Yeah, these are just like little models of what we've been doing. I like that. A little bit of backstory. Not much, but it's there. Okay, then I'm going to have to come back. Unfortunately, all of these ladders are going to throw off my navigation because I'm not accounting for them particularly well. That's kind of what I was hoping V Rising would be. But V Rising was more or less just kind of like a weird boss rush game. Fun. You know, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed V Rising a fair bit. But it was barely a survival sandbox game. Because, like, I mean, if we want to go from the evil perspective, I think it would be really cool to have a survival sandbox game where you're vampires and the world is covered by sun and you have to, like, cast, like, crazy rituals and create tunnel networks and, you know, subdue a populace so that you actually have a chance to, you know, survive. Sentinel Corp asked us this morning to begin testing to send a first potential candidate. Conducting a few interviews. We selected a candidate. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks... Oh, wait, no. We already read this one. Oh, this is the ladder down that we'd seen earlier that I got distracted and didn't come back for. Gotcha. Nothing on that one? Nothing on that one. I guess I missed the circuits previously. Oh well, it's fine. Like, I have enough circuits that I'm not feeling overly bereft here. Really wish this game had round bases. Like, we've got the basic, like, oh no, we don't actually have any basic circular things. Just like a round, I don't know. I guess it makes sense why they don't. Like a little like octagonal or a hexagonal like habitat would be kind of nice. Especially if you can then build like rings around it that extend things. But yeah, builds great sun blockers and water catching sails. Like, yeah, you could do some really interesting things with that. Obviously, it'd be like an insane amount of extra work beyond regular survival sandbox or farm sim or whatever you want to call it. But my problem with like so many games in these genres is that whatever the... Oh, there's only like 7 bits left. I should probably just finish detoxing it. The problem with the games industry, there are many. One of the big problems is the fact that, unlike back in the day, games stick around. So when the, let's say when the N64 stopped being supported and everybody moved on to the GameCube, you could make a game in a genre that another game prior had existed in, and you could somewhat get away with that. You know, people would buy that game because they don't have a modern iteration of whatever that game is on the console that they're currently favoring, and it's time to go back. Problem is now, Stardew Valley functionally has made it impossible for anybody else to make a Stardew Valley. You can, but, you know, why would anybody... oh yeah, there's a little animal hab stuff. God, that's cute. Why would anybody want to buy a new farm sim that has less content than Stardew Valley? It's not going to look nicer than Stardew Valley. I mean... Maybe if you went full 3D with it, but even then, you know, because the games industry is hitting this visual, like hard visual cap, it's actually becoming increasingly difficult to create a new game. Yeah, iteration is an important part of how game design works, but due to the forever nature of modern game updates, iteration has to be bigger jumps on releases. Yup. And so, like, every once in a while you come across something that is special, like this, for example, that does do a lot of what, say, Subnautica did. Quite well, in fact. And can stand out on its own without having to, like, do too much, because it is such a general, unique idea. And then it iterates on itself with either DLCs, expansions, or mix of both, sequels even. And I think there's a lot of space, specifically in this genre. So if somebody wanted to make their own Planet Crafter, but you're a bunch of wizards who've been sent to like, oh, I don't know. Well, okay, here's a great example of this. You're a bunch of wizards that have been sent to, Lordran. You know, straight up, you've been sent to like like one of the Dark Souls, Elden Ring, or Bloodborne cities. And your job is to cull all the monsters in the area, you know, deconstruct all of the old crappy buildings that are falling apart and probably infested with demons. And, you know, you were supposed to then like clean it up and start rebuilding society in the mess of this, kind of in this form. That would be really cool. Like Wizard Portal Penal Colony, as silly as that sounds, would be kind of interesting. Because it would give you something different and would let you potentially borrow a lot of like pre-existing ideas. Yeah, you know, the whole city gets super Cthulhu'd and you have to like de-Cthulhu everything, while also reclaiming it for your own purposes. They're all making me nervous. I see both sides as equally bad. I'm glad our research center is here, isolated from them all. I'm glad I chose to work on this program, but I would have preferred to work elsewhere, even though I understand now why they decided to make us work here. Legal release. I hereby consent to participate in the Planet Crafter program as the first colonist. I certify that I will do everything necessary to terraform the planet on which I land using the technologies at my disposal and the resources available there. I understand that the conditions of my current sentence have been modified accordingly. Defeating enemies, but it's because they're causing specific corruption/problems rather than kill monsters just because. Yeah. Similar vein is kind of like, well, I mean, Abiotic Factor is a good example of this, where that was one where, yeah, you did kill a lot of monsters, but it was all kind of in the service of escaping this really maze-like lab. I'm just gonna eat some water and beans. Clear that out. We might as well grab the resources, though. I guess we don't really need super alloy or aluminum. What am I thinking? Oh, well. Anyway. But the reason why, like, both this and Abiotic Factor, both of those feel extremely satisfying because they are deep exploration survival sandbox games where you have a purpose beyond just build base and survive, forehead. Okay, so we've got a bunch of stuff stocked up here. None of which is, well, okay. Much of this stuff is not being brought back. I think let's put the car down. And some part of me is kind of okay with a lot of this stuff just kind of rotting here until we actually need it. But we might need to think on some of these things. And clear some of this stuff out. I did set these to supply, right? Not these two, but they're totally empty. Okay. Yeah, so a lot of resources that are currently not being used in any meaningful sense. Yeah, spare fuses. A lot of plastic and aluminum. Okay, let's grab the fuse. Let's grab a couple of these plants. A number of these are base resources that I don't need. The cocoa, it can't turn into seeds, so it's kind of moot. The more like random resources we don't need as much. Those can get requested at a later date and probably be fine. T4 mutagen. I just want to bring a stack of these things back with me. Definitely all these fuses. We should take a look at my other resources for a second. Yeah, we've got a bunch of Pesteras, but we can leave those there. Okay, cool. I think this will slowly get cleared out, maybe. I think we're just going to go back to the base. Oh, can you imagine a game based in Warhammer where you need to clear up the worlds after... Oh man, don't even get me started A, like, really extensive campaign, like, open world Morrowind game set in Age of Sigmar would be incredible. 40k would be interesting, but I think it would be trickier, just because 40k is so much bigger. I think I do think a Power Wash, well, I guess they did have Power Wash Sim 40k, and that was kind of fun. Yeah, Goblin Cleanup Crew. Like, some of those could be fun. I don't want designers to take this as your ideas aren't good. It means take your ideas to 11, don't hold back, push further with them. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about. Yeah, novelty is important, actual game design and creativity needs to be a thing. Old days, small steps and staying in the box isn't enough. Well, I mean, it's not even that. It's just the fact that we are very much in a monkeys on typewriter situation where we have so many pieces of media out there that literally every idea is being tapped and done to death to almost an absurd degree. Let's see. How am I doing this one? I guess I'm actually going to need a couple of these. So then I need tungsten rods. We should probably also go look at the other base real quick. Because we're for sure not making enough tungsten rods. Okay, so let's figure out auto crafters. I'll get 2 more. There we go. Here. 2 right? Yeah. Okay. It's the auto crafter. So here's the question. There's no good way I'm going to get this to line up. I can just hope. All I can do is just hope that I'm lining it up as best as possible. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's not lining up clean on this one. I guess we'll just move these over. But yeah, I kind of first identified this specific issue with, you know, games just being wildly... Not derivative. I mean, we've always had derivative games, but not on such an industrial scale that it's becoming like a legitimate problem for the rest of the industry. Oh, I guess we do need we do have a supply of toxins here. Do we have tungsten? Oh, I'm going to switch this to demand tungsten. Oh no, we should actually have this demand rocket engines. What do we not want to keep here? Yeah, more of those. Circuits we kind of need. T2 rocket engines we do not need. We want this to have tungsten in it. Reason being, we want to be able to make some tungsten rods. Okay. So we have... we don't have osmium rods being made. There we go. Because, yeah, if I'm going to have a overflow of these things, we should have more. Don't forget to rename the locker. This one. Tungsten. What other things can I offload? Probably explosive powder? Oh, no, we're already making explosive powder. I guess we just haven't been overloading enough of resources. Do we want to do drones? Yeah, sure. Okay, so that should at the very least help us with the tungsten and the osmium issues. So we don't need to worry about those as much. Next up. I built a bunch of water purifiers for a very specific reason. Oh, it's for down here. Yeah, let's get that set up. And then I think I will stop because it is getting a little late. It's time for me to start thinking about dinner. And then also, you know, I've been going for how many hours? I don't know, we had the crash around like the 3-hour mark. So something like that. No, yeah, we've probably been going for about 5 hours, give or take. That's a lot. Okay, yeah, we just want to build a couple of these things to hopefully... Really? Maybe I have to put it on this side. No, why not? This water is like dank as hell. Confusing. Oh. I wonder if this is one of those where I'm supposed to drain the water somewhere. That would be interesting. Oh, it's this. The problem is I don't actually know... Oh, those are purification fuses. Yeah, the reason why I can't do anything else here... Because I think I saw one of these along this section, right? Yeah, it uses purification fuses. So I need 3 purification fuses. Uh-oh. I think I'll be fine. Well, yeah, I have a trade rocket multiplier fuse, but I think I'm going to have to look into this whole purification fuse thing. So we can't actually purify all of the water, or not purify. We can't drain it here, but we can at least purify it. And yeah, I was thinking I'd just set these down and come back later. Okay. In that case, I think we're going to leave this for next time because this actually does look like a full-on project. And better to leave that when I actually have the time and energy and focus for it as opposed to being like, oh, shoot, let's do this quick right before the end. Because that's just a recipe for me making mistakes like not paying attention to the fact that I'm running out of oxygen and water. That's a problem for obvious reasons. Might actually want to set up a teleporter down there just purely from the convenience sake. Okay. Quick quaff. We really need to solve some of these storage issues. Okay. Well, do we have any, like, tainted bodies of water nearby that I have not dealt with that I could? Yes, I do. Technically, already purifying this. Let's speed that up a bunch. Well, not a bunch. The problem is storing all the purified water is actually hard. That's why I was hoping there would be like a water tower in this game. Question, does that include the water over here? Or are they separate bodies of water? Nope, same stuff. Good work. Have these all been cleaned out? Yeah, kind of. Okay, back to the field. Let's I mean, considering I have hopefully a bunch of circuits at this point. We might have to figure out how to make more. That should be enough. Okay. Seeing as we are having some serious storage problems with a handful of things, namely seeds. I think it's about time that we just jam out a bunch of these really quick. Okay, demand Lerma. Shunga. Pestera. Yeah, like, we have so many of these seeds, and I'm not using them for anything because I don't need them. Nulna. And some of them past Nulna we probably don't need to store in large quantities. Tuska. And, because, like, we're not getting a whole lot of Arima, Volnus, Golden Snipia, or Brelia. Probably. Then, let's have this just hoover up the toxic goo. Because we want to get things out of my dump lockers if I can manage to do so. Should probably get a set up for T4 mutagen somewhere. Well, I guess I'll put it downstairs because, nah. Because I don't think we have storage for... maybe we do for fertilizer, but definitely not the mutagen. Let's see what other things we are currently storing or not storing. Animal food would be a good one. Yeah, we should do animal food. And fusion energy cells. Because these are all things that I'm really not making. Animal food 1. Animal food 2. Like, I'm glad the game was giving me these things. It saved me from starving. But... has been kind of overkill. Okay, there we go. That should solve a lot of our problems. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Build another one of these. What do we... I think I'm going to just have a secondary fuse storage, because I think this one's filling out. Yeah, that one's full. Holy shit, that's a lot of fuses. Well, we have 2 more purification multiplier fuses, so we can use those on the water. We also have a ton of trade rocket fuses. Well, do we want to get silly? Let's get silly as our last thing. Oh, we still haven't actually built... Well... Nah, let's not get silly. I think I'm just going to put these away. I think that's good enough. We've cleared out some of our storage to the point where we can actually have some sanity again. Detoxo tree... Okay, hold up. I think we need to build another one of these. That is an absurd tree. Okay, we want super alloy. I'm getting myself confused. Zeolite. Then we just need bacteria and fertilizer too. Yeah, so we go up to mutagen 3. Right. I was putting the fertilizer over here. Do we have... Yeah, we do have fertilizer 3 storage. I just don't know what to use it on. Oh, that's okay. I do find these trees to be kind of ugly, to be entirely honest with you. Oh, I forgot the tree park. I'm also a little sad that there wasn't anything about, like, detoxing, like, doing purification using plants in this. I feel like that would have actually been a really neat mechanic to mess around with, but I get it. Okay. Let's just slap tree spreader right here. And give it a toxo seed, which is stupid good. Still a fair ways off of, you know, really cranking my terraforming index up, but it's fine. And what other fuses do? Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess a lot of them just got put there. So yeah, we actually do have enough purification fuses. I'm going to put them in my inventory so I remember. Or I'll forget, but... Next time I play this, help me remember I'm supposed to go detox that one giant facility, I suppose. For now... Oops. Ate too many beans. It's fine. We have plenty of beans. Plenty of everything else. Where's my car? Okay, I just parked it over here. Perfect. There's nothing in it? Yeah, I'd grab that. Yeah, like I said, don't want to prank myself by leaving things half-managed. So yeah, we're in a great spot. We will be able to make some serious headway on next time. I don't think we're going to be able to beat the DLC, but we're getting close, I think. Right, this is the one thing I wanted to check. How far are we on this one? Yeah, so I've still got a lot of toxic goo to clean up. Admittedly, like, a third of that is in one specific location. Like, most of it is here? Oh, shoot, do we only have, like, 4 zones? I mean, this is saying 6, but there's only, like, 4 zones I can see on the overworld, at the very least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So, one of these is probably underground somewhere, maybe, or is part of one of these other ones. Hard to say. Because, yeah, this is kind of slightly obfuscated. So this is going to take a long time. Oh, this is the last one. So, yeah, there's the 6. So I think we'll clear this out and then finally go tackle these. This is... I've been ignoring it because there's nothing there that I know of. It looked neat, but, yeah, for now... Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And yeah, I think we'll be able to beat this DLC next time. I'm looking forward to that.